Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. I will say good morning or good afternoon, Canada, wherever you're tuning in from today, or if you're on the podcast, good evening. And Canadian sports fans around the world. As you will see on the background here, it is Grey Cup week. We're diving right in. Division final Sundays behind us. In the Canadian Football League, Hamilton beating Edmonton out east 36-16. And in the West, Winnipeg over Saskatchewan 22-13. What a treat it was to have Mike Benavides, Grey Cup winning coach, and from the CFL on TSN with us here in the bunker in hour one, along with our director of scouting, Craig Smith. And now you see Mike Abou flexing his pecs for the world to see. How you doing, Abou?
Great. I thought you were going to say the world saw what a great job I did not having.
Yeah, you didn't have enough viewers yesterday that you got to ham it up to the camera today. It was a big secret, everybody. Now, hang on. It was a big secret. On Friday, Abou was in here and said, listen, guys. And by the way, Keon Raymond joining us shortly. Calgary Stampeders great. Abou says, big secret. I'm going to be out on the field for the coin flip, and I'm going to hand out the West Division trophy on Sunday. So what an honor. And thank you, Riders and Bombers, for bringing, and well, CFL too, I guess, for bringing you in to do that.
Yeah, well, I thought I was being punked. I got the call on Tuesday, and it's not a big secret, but, you know, when someone tells me to keep something quiet, I do it. Yeah, they called me on Tuesday. I thought I was being punked, but I'm like, I'll probably, be standing in the back or something. But one thing led to another, and yeah, I was that dude.
What was it like being out there for the coin toss? What was better out of the two? What was more exciting?
Man, it was just cool being on the sidelines and getting to see a game the way that I'm kind of used to seeing it, from the sidelines and looking up. That crowd is just crazy, man. Like, it's just nuts. What an honor to play here, as a home or visiting team.
Yeah.
It's just an honor to play in front of all these people. The cheers are like boos when you're the visitors. Great atmosphere. I used to train with Osh, like in Toronto, over at York University.
Yeah.
We'd go there and he'd have all, his minions, the Argos. And then you knew he was going to be a good head coach. And then we'd just run sprints and do stuff. So, I mean, good to see him. Chad Rempel, good Saskatchewan boy, used to rent my house out in Toronto,
I brought him.
Patty Neufeld, just some old guys still playing.
Oh,
huh?
I brought him into Hamilton, Chad Rempel, as a receiver. And he scored a touchdown in the preseason, and then he got cut. I was so mad.
Sorry, he was my roommate for a while there.
He's a Saskatoon guy, isn't he?
He is.
Rempel?
U of S.
Yeah.
Great kid.
Booster
Great guy.
juice.
Let me pause you guys for 1 second. First of all, Anthony Bach is watching on the Facebook Live string, and he says, Randy Ambrosi was here. Why didn't he hand out the trophy? Well, he hands out the Grey Cup. That's probably it. And look at the pub that the CFL is getting from using Abou to do it. So I get why they would do that. And we'll get into the Grey Cup matchup, and we will get into the Division Final Sunday. But we have with us Keon Raymond. The Grey Cup is going to be in his... Oh, Clark tells me we just lost him. So we'll have to go to him in a second. But Keon Raymond, the habitual winner of the Stampeders President's Ring, which is for leadership on the football club.
I was just thinking the same thing. Like, there's another guy just like O'Shea where you just gravitate. That's a guy that he's a good dude.
Yeah, well, I've never met him, but I've heard nothing but outstanding things about Keon Raymond, and he's going to join us shortly. And there's a reason why. He's got an announcement to make with regards to himself and the Grey Cup and so forth. So let me ask you this, Abou. You were down there. What was your take on the game?
Man, I've been saying since the beginning of the year, said it last week, it's going to be some sort of some mojo, a crossbar. The Riders were down there so many I know this is a pro rider show, but, we try to bring we're trying to spread it all over, right? I've been saying since the beginning, Winnipeg is the team of destiny. And I felt like every time the Riders got down there and didn't punch it in, I was like, this is it. This is what a team of destiny happens. So you hit a freaking crossbar, man. Play calling. I'm all over the place here.
That's okay. That's fine. We have lots of time.
I was reminded of a play down on the goal line. This might have been the early 2001 season. Brett McNeil. We got 1 yard to go. First and goal on the one. We run some sort of tricky dicky run sideways play. Brett McNeil lost his mind to the sidelines. Run the mother, run the And for the rest of the year, you know what they did when we ran 1 yard? They gave don't give the ball to Brett. You don't give the ball to Dan Clark and Labatt. You don't. But if you could, you would. So take the ball, run straight behind those two guys, win the game. Hallelujah. We're all going to Calgary.
I said a long time ago, I said, O'Day, one of his best signings was Powell. Where was Powell?
Use him.
Use him. Use one of the better backs in the league. And that offensive line, I mean, geez, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd give the ball to you running behind Clark and Labatt to be able to play one more Grey Cup, play one more game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they're not coming back next year, but there's going to be some discussion, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, with all these one-year contracts, that's the thing. Actually, now that I think about it, I wrote in my column this morning that you'd have to think the Riders are favorites coming back next year. But now that I think about it, that's a lot of one-year deals that are up.
Oh, it's
to build a core now is a lot harder than it used to be.
Well, the other thing is you can get good real quick. Because of those one-year contracts, everybody's up. Oh, I'm going to wait. So you can get real good real quick. But I think Saskatchewan Roughriders are going to be the favorites for next year. I mean, they've got a lot of good things. Obviously things are going to change every year it does, but they've got a lot of good things there.
I can't believe people are saying we should have kept Caleros.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. No one's. I haven't heard that either. I just made that up. Yeah, no, but he did a great job. And you know what? Being that's a great story, Now he's going to go back and play Hamilton.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Well, I will go to my grave wondering why the Rider Nation never gravitated to Zach Caleros. Do you remember last year in a media scrum after a game at his locker, he chugged a Pilsner and burped before speaking? Like, what don't you like about this guy? He's one of you. But whatever, they'll love him in Winnipeg. Clearly, they already do.
I went to training camp. I wanted to see the guys, in Saskatoon, and at the end of the practice, and Caleros came over, and he was dealing with fans, and I just sat back and, wow, I can't believe this. I can't believe this guy. How good of a guy he was with the fans. He was just a good guy.
He was one of the last guys in as I was being kicked out because I just hung around too long. I saw him, and he was hanging out with on the Rider side, talking to the Rider fans, and obviously family or a few families that had meant something to him. He took the time.
For the Winnipeg viewers, and I love this about you,
Bomber
what
Mondays?
people don't understand, he's the Rider guy here, but when we go to Winnipeg, he's the Bomber guy there, which is smart because you're alum in both places.
Yeah.
But your Facebook profile page, you've changed to you in a Bomber uniform and all. So
that's my rookie card. That's
whatever. I don't
that's
care.
a picture of me with hair. That's not a picture of me in a
whatever
jersey.
it is. So you're handing it out, the trophy yesterday, and when on a rare occasion, Mike O'Shea smiled. I wish we had the video to show that, but it was literally like, I'm not touching it, and they took off. What was it like? Because if you just joined us, Abou was there to hand out the trophy to them, and they didn't want it. I think it was a personal thing, not that they didn't want to touch the trophy.
Well, you're given like a script, and you're like, and congratulations, here you go, Mike O'Shea and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Here's your trophy.
Yeah, nobody wanted it.
Awkward.
We were like that in 2013.
Very awkward.
We were like that in 2013, though. Nobody wanted to touch it.
In Calgary.
You know what? We did it. I mean, you guys celebrate. I'm not talking about participation trophies. And nobody really, because it's a trophy. This is Canada. We want cups, right? Keep your damn trophies, but it's a trophy, and celebrate your victories.
Yeah.
That's not a participation trophy. That's the thing you work your ass off for.
Darn right.
And literally, maybe break some fingers, break your back, break your neck for. I'd grab that thing.
I would too.
And I'd drink out of it too if there was some sort of vessel on top.
Apparently, Hamilton did touch it, but Winnipeg didn't. If that means anything, we all know that it actually doesn't. But I'll go one step further here. You guys have both won Grey Cups, and I'm sorry to say you've both lost Grey Cups. And the Riders, what hurts the most is that they left it all out there, but they didn't play their best. And they lost the turnover battle. They blew it in the red zone. That's harder to take than giving it your best effort and still coming up short. It both sucks, but what do you think, Abou? If you're the Riders today, that's going to feel brutal that you left some points out there. Actually, a lot of points out there.
I feel like I was watching the Cleveland Browns in the red zone.
Yeah.
Run the damn ball.
Yeah.
That's my analysis on that. Red zone, 1st and 3, 1st and whatever. Run the damn ball, period. Like, big period. How big can we put a period? That's it. That's what you got to do. You win the game, period. And it's always, hindsight's always 20/20. But every single time I see a short yardage quarterback come in and not run a quarterback sneak, I'm wondering if they know how lucky they are to bring a guy in that's handed the ball off to whoever the running back is, maybe 10 times, 12 times all season in 12 months. Instead of keeping a guy in that does it every day, can do it in his sleep, whose kids can do it just from watching what their dad does, just through his genes or something. I don't know why you do that. To have to bring a guy in, it's not fair to turn this way or that way or whoever's at fault. I mean, to bring a guy in cold off the bench is...
It's been tough.
So I'm not a coach.
It's been tough for the Rider fans. This loss, and a couple of years ago when they were pretty much looked like they were going to the Grey Cup, and then on third down, Wilder catches the ball and they score, and so Toronto's going. So I mean, last couple of years it's been very, very difficult for the Rider fans, and it's tough. But I mean, like I say, they got stuff going. It's going to be exciting for those fans.
I'm sitting on the sidelines with Getsy watching the last few plays. They're going to quarterback sneak. Finally, they're going to sneak it, and they empty the backfield.
Yeah.
And I say to him, "Oh my gosh, they're going to sneak
with the hurt quarterback."
I hate when they take. First of all, I hate when you take the running back out. Why? Because the linebacker's got to respect that running back. He's got to do it.
Yeah.
That linebacker can't go over the top and tackle the quarterback if there's a running back back there, because all the quarterback has to do is bloop, touchdown. Yeah. So you take one guy out of the game by bringing everyone to the sidelines and stuff. You're just saying that juicy linebacker over the top, delicious quarterback. And you know what? I knew they weren't going to go forward. They were going to go sideways. Yeah. I hate when I'm right sometimes.
Doesn't happen very often, so thankfully. Prairie Mobile text line, by the way, updating that for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. What's the biggest story in the 107th Grey Cup in Calgary? There are a lot. Of course, it always is. It's the Grey Cup. But here are your options. Zach Collaros versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Zach Collaros versus Simone Lawrence. The Droughts. 2 longest droughts in the CFL going to meet Sunday in Calgary. One will end. Heartache for the other. And Steinauer versus O'Shea, the 2 longtime Argo teammates and good friends. Smitty already voted for Collaros versus Hamilton, right, Craig?
Yes.
You, Abou, what's yours in that?
Yeah, that's the easy one, but like you should, if there's a sub-story there, I like that Steinauer versus O'Shea.
Well, the leader on both Facebook and Twitter is the Droughts, and it's a really big story. For me, it's Zach just knocking off the Riders. Chance to knock off the Ticats. That's big. And again, I'm a Zach fan. So it is an awesome matchup. And Abou, I will ask you that, Winnipeg versus Hamilton. How about that matchup? I mean, if had the Riders been there, it would have been a cash cow. But Winnipeggers like to drink and party too. I think it'll be potentially just as good, maybe even better.
Bombers, man, like my heart and soul. I want everything that I want. I want them to win. I need them to win.
No, but look, no, take your heart out of it and just the matchup.
Can't do it.
Yes, you can.
All right, fine. Yeah, the Bombers are the greatest team ever. They're a team of destiny. Zach Collaros brings a depth to them that maybe even Matt Nichols didn't have.
That's a good point.
Wow.
Because Matt Nichols just pissed off at the world for them always thinking that he's just a game manager or whatever. Collaros has pinpoint pissed offedness at teams that had given up on him in the past.
And there's something about guys that follow him. And look, we got a break. And again, coming up this hour, we have Torrey Gurley and Keon Raymond if we can get him. But everybody talks about Zach's stats. Zach, the detractors. You're a huge fantasy football guy, and as is Tyler on the couch. And it ticks me off that wins don't factor into an efficiency rating or fantasy points, because there's something about Zach that he wins. You understand what I'm saying, Smitty?
Yeah, absolutely.
And guys follow him. He wins.
He made plays. And
Matt Nichols makes plays too, but it's like Abou said, there's something about him maybe even deeper than Matt Nichols.
How about that throw when he's on his own 3-yard line, drops back, and then he gets hit, but he throws that ball right on the money to get out of that the goal, the goalposts. I mean, he made huge plays yesterday.
That's how you win games.
He's a great quarterback for a good team. As far as building around and building, I'm not sure he's that guy that you want to dink and dunk around.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you dink and dunk offense, usually is an up and coming team.
Because they have to.
Yeah, it fits in perfectly. The Toronto debacle, he probably never fed in. Well, that's why he's cool. He's cocky, right? You gotta, cool and cocky guys do well when things are going well.
Look,
trust me, I know.
Listen, Zach's a prick. You're a prick. I'm a prick. He can be a jerk.
That means
that's what it takes. All the winners are that way.
Yeah.
Zach wouldn't be upset if I said, he can be a mean, nasty jerk. Guess so can Wally Buono. So can the winningest guys are like
Mother
that.
Teresa.
I don't know if she was.
Yeah.
Did you know her?
With some of her kids? Yeah.
Okay.
It's a nun. You understand? Never don't know any nuns?
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.